Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, agents. I am Mountie Carl, and welcome to a very special Let's Talk. And today we have a special guest on the line who's going to join us for this Let's Talk. This is the first of its kind, and probably not the last, but we will go ahead and try to see how this works. Please welcome to the Let's Talk show, Mr. Infamous himself.
Howdy doody.
All right, so today we are going to go ahead and cover the state of the game recap. You could have said more Infamous, but but it's all right. So we're going to cover the state of the game recap from yesterday. And the state of the game focused on the announcement of the spring event and the new features that are going to be added in 1.6.1. Was it 161, whatever it is? I don't know. Whatever
1.6.1, baby.
There you go. All right. So let's go ahead and talk about the first thing that they talked about. And I figured, hey, Amish has somebody that joins him for State of the Game. Why not bring Infamous in? And Infamous wanted to go ahead and talk about, because we're going to get into some stuff. This isn't just going to be a recap. This is actually going to be a little bit of a discussion, because there are some things that we need to discuss regarding some of this stuff. So there's going to be two special in-game events. The first is going to start tomorrow, and I believe that event is going to be, what is it? What is that event going to be? It's
double X or double field proficiencies, and you get more stuff for killing your weeklies.
Oh, there.
HVTs.
All right. HVTs. Very, very good. So, and then there's going to be another one. Oh, yeah, there we go. So, April 14th, which is tomorrow, most named enemies, including open world bosses and named NPCs in mission, will drop extra loot. Congratulations. More loot. Let's not fix anything in the game. Let's just keep giving you loot to kind of mask over the fact that make kits aren't working, or the first aid isn't working, or something like that. So it's just, it seems like these days the answer is pretty much, and please tell me if I'm wrong, Infamous, but it seems like the answer to fixing bugs is to just give you more loot.
Yeah, it's bullshit. Because majority of the time, all the more loot you get, it's still garbage, and you still have to sell it. So,
but it's more loot. It's what people want, right? That's what
the only good
want.
thing about the loot's is the currency you get for selling the shit.
Yeah, especially especially if you do Last Stand, and so I understand this. Like, I'm gonna go ahead and kind of change things up here. And I was kind of browsing Reddit, and there was a thread, and I had to just laugh, because the person was talking about something about getting more exotic caches, and I'm just sitting there going, Are you serious? You don't get enough loot? Like, you need more loot. Like, what more loot do you need? Like, you get, if you're playing Last Stand, you get reward. If I play 3 rounds of Last Stand, I'm full up. Like, I'll end up going out, I'll clear out my stash, and I'll open all that stuff up. It's full again. I don't understand how people want more loot right now. That's the thing. There's already a ton of loot.
Yeah. Back to what you were saying, a couple weeks ago, I wouldn't mind running a challenge mission or a legendary or heroic incursion if the loot is God rolled or whatever. You just had to roll one thing, whether it be stamina or whatever. I wouldn't mind that. But as far as like the same old shit, your Hunter's Faith and your Lone Star, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, and it's, that's the thing. That a lot of people kind of miss that point that I was talking about raising the gear score cap to be, 275 or 300 or whatever it equaled out to be. But the point is that the stats on the gear wouldn't change. They would just be maxed out. So that would be, it would be the rarest of the rare rolls, so that, you would get it like 1 out of every 1,000 times or whatever it was, basically a Barrett's chess piece equivalent drop on that. And it would be, you would get a min-max gear roll on it. And that's, that's all I was saying for the gear score. It doesn't have to be increased. And this way, if you go into Last Stand, it's not going to make any difference or anything like that. So that's why I said, that's why it should be like a max roll gear, so that it only affects the PvE and Dark Zone side of the game and not the actual Last Stand side of the game. So it's really, it's just, there's so much loot out there, and people people, there's a lot of greed actually happening right now. And I'm looking through, the Ubisoft forum and Reddit and stuff, and all I see are people who want more stash space so they can hoard more loot. Like, you get plenty of loot, and there are plenty of stash spaces that you can get. You're keeping garbage loot at this point.
Yeah.
Like, that's what you're keeping. You could literally fill it with one piece from every set that you want. And I know, like me, I make multiple sets, and I'm sure that you make multiple sets too, because you want to run different things on different gear sets and stuff. But there's got to be an end to the madness. Like, the loot has to stop. Like, I would rather have one great piece of loot than 1,000 garbage pieces of loot. And that's what's going on right now, is I'm not getting that one piece of really great loot. And sure, maybe I am getting that one piece of really great loot every once in a while, but I'm not getting it at the point where I feel like I'm vindicated. And there's so much garbage that I feel like occasionally I'll probably delete like that one really great piece that's like maxed out when I'm not paying attention, because there's so much garbage. Like 4 pieces of loot from a last stand cache? Come on. Are you kidding me? How about just bring it down to one piece? And somebody said from the last video, hey, what about us who working class folk? We got jobs too. Let me tell you.
I'm a working man too myself.
I put in a 60-hour week, and I come home and I play maybe an hour of Division if I get a chance to, and I still have plenty of loot. There is no shortage of loot, and yet people still suggest that we need more loot. Like, and especially with loadouts, somebody was like, we need more exotic loot drops. Now, remove the stipulation of one exotic per legendary per week. No, Stop the madness. Stop it. Just stop. It's ridiculous that we're handing out so much loot. It's like I posted to this guy. I said, well, why not have Massive just give you one exotic cache, and when you open that exotic cache, it gives you a legendary, it gives you a last stand cache, and it gives you 4 greens no matter what. You get 4 green pieces, and once you open those 4 green pieces, it gives you 8 more pieces. It's like that. That's what people have come to expect. Like, I mean, it's a ridiculous level. So let's go ahead and we'll keep this in mind while we're going through the state of the game. And then there's
just real quick, the people that are complaining about having jobs and everything and playing, but to me, you wouldn't spend as much time farming for pieces, if you would just do an heroic mission and get like a better chance of getting a god roll, holster or gloves than you would having to spend hours and hours inside the last stand just to get a decent pair. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you'd spend a lot less time farming.
Yeah, that's exactly right. You would spend less time farming if you got the good pieces, like one good piece, than if you were just given 20 bad pieces.
Right.
So you get a lot. You'd spend, you wouldn't have to sit there in Lexington running it 500 times like Mr. Andrew Kapler has done.
Bless his heart, dude.
And bless his heart, and not get a single Barrett's chest piece. I mean, that is some shit right there. That is
I feel bad
shame.
for him, dude. That's bullshit.
Andrew, we feel bad for me and Infamous both feel bad for you, and there's nothing we can do. We could run you through it 200 more times ourselves, and you still wouldn't get it. Like, I mean, Infamous is. I mean, honestly, I the first time I got a Barrett's chest piece, you all saw on video. The first time I got it was the first day after 1.6 was released, and we went through and we did the incursion. And whichever, I can't remember what the cleaner incursion's called, but we did that, and the exotic cache dropped, and it was the Barrett's chest piece, and I was like, of course I would get it on the first one after 1.6. But so the weekend schedule is April 14th and to April 16th, which is going to be tomorrow all the way through Sunday. That's when the event's going to be, and then April 16th to the 18th. Those are going to be the double cache days whenever you fill up the field proficiency bar. So you're going to get double caches. And as we all discovered when we all did the Warren Gate, glitch, field caches, you could give me 100 field caches. It don't mean I'm going to get a single damn good thing. I've opened up I don't know, 600 field proficiency caches during that time when Warren Gate was, and I swear I probably kept 3 pieces. And this goes exactly to the point that I talked about in the Let's Talk that I did from a couple days ago, where I said, basically, we're getting so much loot and it's all garbage, and we were never meant to see the full array of RNG and how much garbage it was. If we were only getting a few pieces here and there, we would not realize how garbage RNG is, because now that we've got it, we know what min-max looks like. We know what that looks like. We know what the recalibration station looks like. We were never meant to see this side of the game. This was, this is the wizard behind the curtain. There was no reason we should have ever saw the full range of RNG and just how bad it was for the game. I mean, maybe they added it in after they increased the amount of loot drops, but there's nothing there that we should have ever been seeing. If we had just gotten the amount of loot that they originally were going to give us, we would never see the full range. There would be people who were happy running around with a 1200, firepower Barrett's chest piece or something like that, or 1200 stamina. People would be running electronics on some of their stuff. It's just like that. You would be happy with the pieces that you got. So that it is what it is. I mean, we were never supposed to see that stuff.
Oh goodness.
So all right, so let's go ahead and keep moving on. So the general update from 1.6.1, there's no specific date yet. They're still trying to aim for a May time frame. They are prepping the PTS right now, but they don't want to commit to a date until they have a stable build ready for us, and it's just going to be PC only this time. They didn't say that it would be console, but they're trying to do a console thing. We'll see if they actually get it, and that's going to be for the 1.7 update that's going to be released in July or August time frame, and it's 1.7 is when we're going to get these those feats and seasons, which is basically the whatever they're doing over in Destiny, and just copying from there. What I really hope they did.
What is that? What is seasons? What the hell is that?
So it's just going to be like modifiers. When you go into like a legendary mission, you could be like, hey, these guys need 200% more health, or they need to do double damage or something like that. And so you're going to do that, and you're going to get the same loot that you've gotten every other time. So, because they haven't said anything if they're going to bump up the gear score, which I highly doubt they are, but you never know. They could surprise us and come up with one. And then that PTS is supposed to be for PC and consoles. So you guys on the consoles will finally get a little taste of what people who have Division on PC are going through. And you realize that, we're going to get inundated with threads on Reddit and in the Ubisoft forum going, why can't I keep my character on the PTS? I worked so hard to get him all the way, all this good gear, and now I have to give it up. Please, give us that stuff. I just got a bunch of free caches, and you're not gonna let me keep them? Like,
that's like doing betas and then bitching because you can't keep your character when the game comes out.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so 1.6.1 is going to feature loadouts, and this is something that the community's been asking for a very long time, probably since, I don't know, day one of the Division. Even in beta, people were probably, well, no, because the gear sets weren't actually in that, basically since gear sets came out. And I don't know about you, Infamous, but this is actually something that it looks like it's going to be cool. It's going to be cool to see what they do, and it might actually help organize people's stashes to the point where they actually see that they don't need that big of stash.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that you'd be able to, the Infamous is going to be having 5 Deadeye slot stash loadouts in his stash. So and then
as long as I keep getting hate mail, you damn right. You damn straight.
Infamous gets a lot of hate mail. People do not like that he runs Deadeye. If you ever see a thread on Reddit or on the Ubisoft forum saying nerf Deadeye, there's a good chance Infamous killed him. So, all right. So, 1.6.1 is going to feature a few things for the Last Stand. New proficiency marks for, so when you go ahead and you see that end screen, there's going to be best kill death ratio, stuff like that. And I'm kind of confused because I already think there is a best kill death ratio, which is KD Master or whatever it is that you get points for. But they're going to give you extra rewards, more loot. Like I said, more loot for that. It's a non-stop loot train right here on, K Division or whatever it is. And then they're gonna help you have a new spawn mechanic that will help against spawn camping. And I recognize that spawn camping is a problem for a lot of teams, especially when you got some really good guys that you're going up against. I haven't seen spawn camping for quite some time, so I don't know how big of an issue it is, especially with the seeker mines going out there. But there's going to be some changes to the Dark Zone, and this is something I want to get Infamous's opinion on because he spends a lot of time in the Dark Zone, and I think there's going to be some pretty big implications for this, and they're going to go ahead and change the Dark Zone map, and they're going to, especially one of the examples they quoted was they're going to do something with the Manhunt Ladder Corner, which is what Infamous calls Joker's Corner. So I think what they're going to do is probably remove that ladder, and I personally think that this is going to make it so that rogues just run around to run off timers instead of hiding up there killing people. So I mean, what do you think? Is this something good for the division, or is it going to be just an absolute cluster?
It's going to be an absolute cluster, but then again, ever since they've increased the Dark Zone to 7, 8, and 9. It makes it that much easier to run off your manhunt status. So
yeah, and
so the people that's not going to be up in Joker's Corner, they're going to be running from DZ01 to DZ09. So.
Yeah, and I find that a lot of people, at least the people who are trying to farm or something like that, a lot of the rogues still hang out in the first little area there because that's where the easy pickings are. But a lot of the guys who are just trying to farm, they're going up to DZ 9 and 10 because it's empty. A lot of people, the easy, like I said, the easy pickings is down in Zone 1, and the people who are farming are up in 9 and 10. But I've also seen the opposite, where people are up there in 9 and 10 doing 1v1 and stuff like that, just because that they want to be left alone. But the Dark Zone is getting pretty bleak these days. We're starting to see less and less people, except for certain nights. Last night, we had a full server out there. And
yeah, it's been a while. It seemed like every day, including now, that when I hop in the Dark Zone, it's the same people over and over again. But
it's good for you to kill them.
Yeah. So they'll know my name. Remember the name.
You should, next time, when you're in chat, you should, in there down on the ground, just be like, say my name. Say my name.
Just say it.
Infamous! Say my name and I'll kill you right now. If you don't, I'm going to make you crawl around, make it look like I'm walking my dog.
Slap my sausage across your face.
And then, so the other change to the Dark Zone, when you clear a landmark, you're going to get XP, and then currency, and then free loot. Look at that.
Imagine that. Free loot.
And this is loot that you don't have to extract. So you get to go run around from landmark to landmark, and this is going to actually be... This is actually, I'll tell you why I make fun of the loot, but this is actually going to entice people to kill each other. This is going to cause a lot more people, and I'm sure that those people out there who really hate rogues are going to hate them even more now, because nothing is going to be worse than clearing a landmark except for the last 2 guys, and then having a couple rogues come up behind you, kill you, take your 2 guys, and then take your loot. This is actually going to be a hilarious thing that you're gonna look out for. I don't know what Infamous thinks about it, but it's gonna entice a lot of people to go rogue.
It's gonna it'll piss me off, man. Especially like in 7, 8, 9 when the NPCs are gold and you're actually having to fight for it, and then for get shot from behind, dude. I'm probably gonna get banned, like another 24-hour ban for sending like mean messages to people.
That'll be your third one.
So it'll be like a week.
Yeah, if you ever want to get Infamous, man, just start talking trash to him over Xbox Live, because he will it triggers him. Like he will.
Yes, it sure does. Yes, it sure does, man. If y'all see my live stream and people talking shit, oh my God, it pisses me off.
He wears them short bow knee pads on his chest. That's so okay. So a couple things balancing there. So new crafted and looted level 34 extended magazines will have 121% on them. I don't actually get this because the amount of ammo that you can carry is capped out. So it usually caps out around 101, 102. I don't actually see increase like past that. So having 121% magazine increase on them isn't really going to be doing too much. And then this is the one I want to go ahead and talk about because I saw a video the other day of a guy using a historian as a machine gun. And if you people don't know how people are doing this, it's because they have these special controllers. Xbox Elite controller can do this, and some of the other controllers can do this. Oh yeah, yeah. You can set it to whatever it is that you have on the like an auto fire. I know some of people have that those pro gaming controllers that have the auto fire too, and it'll just rapid fire tap the button. It basically makes the, I mean, it gives you like a super boost to, especially if you put stability, it makes it super flat when you're shooting straight. And then, wow. But yeah, I saw this picture of the historian, and I sent a tweet out to Matt Shotcha. And because this one here kind of triggered me, the burst fire weapons will have a maximum RPN. This way you can't fire faster than intended. But there's nothing about any other gun, because the other guns, you know, sniper rifles are not intended to shoot straight when you're just doing, you know, multiple shots and you're being able to hold it down. That's not the intent for these, you know, the M1A, the Historian, the SVD, and the M700. Those that can be rapid fired. I don't think the M700 can, but the SVD and the M1 can definitely be rapid fired. They definitely need to, you know, add in those sniper rifles along with that. Because if I get killed by someone doing that, I'm gonna rage quit. Like like
you can get a 24-hour ban too.
Oh,
I will show you the ropes, Cobra. I will show you how it's done, man.
Yeah, and then the other rage-inducing thing, weapon stagger will be lowered, which, you know, they can't lower it enough for my understanding, because weapon stagger needs to be a stagger, not a making my screen glitch. I mean, there's definitely a huge difference between stagger and making my screen flip up in the air, and if I feel like the game's glitching out when somebody's shooting me with a shotgun, that's a problem with what you got. Stagger is what happens, and you guys are gonna fix the Airburst Seeker stagger in the next patch, but that is an actual stagger. You actually kind of fall back, but the shotgun stagger is not a stagger. I mean, that is the most ridiculous thing you put in the game. You know, I've gotten tons of messages from Infamous saying, and I see it on Twitter, you know, Infamous messaging Hamish Bode, telling him what a piece of shit stagger is in the game.
Hashtag real talk.
Oh man, I would love to see Hamish's face whenever he receives something from Infamous.
He like, probably sees at Infamous and he just immediately closes it. He's like, I ain't about that life today.
No, that's it. So, and then the Airburst Secret changes. So basically, you know, no stagger to that anymore. And there's going to be a different damage distribution. Basically, it's going to do a small initial damage, and then it'll do a damage over time. So you can go ahead and clear that out with your med kit. So that's pretty much that. So those are the new updates for 1.6.1. Those are the features, and that's not a complete list of things. They're going to probably have more stuff in there that we'll talk about in the coming weeks as they get ready to roll that out. And as we see it on the PTS, some environmental improvements, just general improvements to the environment with collision, cover, and getting stuck. And let me tell you, I've gotten stuck. Like day one, garbage bags. Let me tell you, the bane of people's existence. And drop a like on this video just for the fact that garbage bags in this game suck and can get you killed, or it can wreck your game. I can't tell you how many times I've had to quit out of a incursion or something like that where I'm doing something because I got stuck on a garbage bag and I couldn't get out. That is by far the most ridiculous thing ever. The fact that garbage bags are the real enemies in this game. Yeah. I mean,
you can take on 2 cliffs, but get caught up on a trash bag, man.
The trash bag should have guns in this game. That's it. They're gonna fix some bugs. They're not fixing enough of the bugs for my sake, but Shrapnel and Predator have been fixed. I don't know what was wrong with them to begin with. Fear Tactic and Wildfire also fixed and apply the damage as they should. Fear Tactic, so that shouldn't actually apply any damage to you because they removed the damage from the shock turret. So that shouldn't apply any damage to you. It should just work as intended. Survival Link speed buff also works. I didn't realize that it didn't work. Throwable skills got some fixes. What does that even mean? I mean, don't know. That's pretty much every single skill, right? That's, Seeker Mines, Rolly Balls, the turrets, pretty much, anything that can be thrown basically is saying that it got fixed. So, and it says here in parentheses, probably first aid and support station. Like, what needs to be fixed about those? I don't. There's been multiple times whenever I'm PvPing in the dark zone, and I'll put down I'll attempt to put down like a immunizer or something. And instead of putting it down, he holds it and runs with it. So maybe it's something they fixed. They wanted to stop you from dropping your purse. No, this is specific for Infamous. He's talking about people dropping their purses and running, and we don't want that anymore. We don't want people just dropping their purses. We want these medics holding on to their medic bag.
Yeah.
Call you queer, but you'd hit me over the head with your purse.
It's got a lot of shit in it, man. It should knock you the hell out.
I love watching people use that to stagger people. I saw this guy in Last Stand using it to try and hit people with. I was like, he obviously was having too much fun. So, all right. So we're gonna go ahead and get ready to end this up. We're gonna go ahead and talk about the State of the Game survey. As you well know, last week's State of the Game was kind of a joke. They basically came on for 2 minutes and were like, no State of the Game today because we ain't got nothing to report. And so they went ahead and put a State of the Game survey out because really they're not going to have a whole lot to report every single week. But, they really want the people to still come around. So the State of the Game is going to get improved. They're going to figure out a way to work on that. And so, they basically, so here's a good indication of people that took the survey. 22% of the people watch it on Twitch, 30% watch it on YouTube. The rest of them watch it on Skill Up's channel during the recap. because he takes all the good parts. I wish he would have done one for last week.
It's been like 5 seconds.
Here you go. Boop. Done. All right. Wrap that up. That would have been fun. It would have been a lot funnier than the one I did. I mean, at least mine was like, I don't know, 2 minutes because I talked over it. My intro took up 30 seconds of that. State of the Game recap took up the initial 10 seconds and then went ahead and closed it out. So 45% of people that took the survey watch it every time. I mean, those State of the Game surveys are the Twitch chats. 22% of the people watch it live on Twitch. I see those Twitch chat. There are hundreds of people, it looks like, in there. I mean, most of them are kids trolling Hamish and Yannick when they're on there. I've seen some of those chats. They are I don't know how kids talk these days, but there's some 8 to 10-year-olds out there who got some language on them.
Yes, there is.
GD this and F that and F the division and F you and all that stuff. I mean, it's amazing. And out of 5, people ranked it a 3.5, which is pretty neutral, considering that people show up for it and watch it. So it's a pretty neutral rating. I mean, I actually enjoy it. I get some good information out of it. Occasionally, the lovers' quarrel between Hamish and Yannick can be seen quite distinctly on the screen. There's a lot of sexual tension there.
So which one do you think carries the purse?
I think both of them do. Those guys are funny. I hope, you know, they should really dial in Matt on that stream, because that would be funny. Just put him in a little like Skype window up at the top right of the stream. Let him get in on that. They can both look lovingly up at Matt's face as he's trying to figure out what's going on up in the top right hand corner of the screen. So all right, so that pretty much covers the state of the game. Like I said, there's not a whole lot to talk about. I just, you know, I have a problem when, you know, we have so much loot. We've gone from, you know, seeing, you know, gold drop every, you know, 1 in 1 millionth of a time in the dark zone to, you know, I don't remember the last time I didn't do anything and got loot. I mean, I'm surprised that they haven't resorted to just killing NPCs in the Last Stand and getting loot from that too. I mean, that's, you know, hey, there's an idea. How about you kill guys in Last Stand and you get loot from that? Or, you know, just basically make it so that anytime you kill somebody, just drop some loot. You know, that seems to be the way the game's going these days, is, you know, Lootapalooza. They might as well call it the, you know, the multiplication, because that's really what's happening. The loot is multiplying. You know, I've been out to DZ10. I swear that is where they keep all the old loot in those trash bags that are on fire out there. That is where all the old loot goes. I mean, all that 1.1 gear sets and 1.2 gear sets, all that stuff that they no longer have use for. I don't even remember. Is there a lower gear set out before 256? Because I haven't seen it. You know, it's been that long since I've seen it.
I tell you what, you run a legendary mission, and it seems like every time you run, what is that? The Warren Gate power plant, it always drops at least one purple on a freaking legendary mission, dude.
I have seen that, going to the front gate of the Warren Gate on Legendary and seeing that purple drop, and
yeah,
every time I'm like, really, you just dropped that on a Legendary? I think what were we doing? We were doing that Joe Farrow Napalm production facility, and just purples were dropping everywhere. Like it boggles my mind. Like that's. Here's the hardest content in the game, and we're going to go ahead and give you loot for it, but we're going to make it so that it's shitty loot that you're not going to want, and you're just going to leave it on the ground, and when you get to the end of the level, all those little bright pink lights are going to be shooting up through the bottom of the floor.
Yeah.
I'm sure that people have experienced that on Lexington, because if you kill a bunch of guys and you just leave the loot lying around, it ends up poking up through the floor, and you end up running around in circles trying to figure out how to get it, not realizing that you have to go back through the level. Yeah. There are people listening to this going, oh, I didn't realize that. It's because you killed the guys in that room right before you get ready, and you have to go to the Microsoft copy that's blue screened, and you click on that and you go through the door, and then you go upstairs into the room where LeRae Barrett is. That, like, if you don't pick up your loot from that room, it's going to shine up through the floor in that last room, and people don't realize that. They run around trying to figure out how to get to that loot, and so that's where that's at. So pro tip for the day. So
there is one thing I would love to see them implement in the Dark Zone. I think it could possibly bring it back to life. The Dark Zone is if they put like exotics inside the Dark Zone. You know, whether it's the MDR or whatever, any or all the exotics. Because right now, when you're in the Dark Zone and you see like the red beam, it's either a Midas or a Ninja Bike Messenger backpack. Now, who in the hell uses that damn thing?
I'm sure there's a couple people out there that use it. You know, all right, nobody's using it.
I was gonna say you're trolling right now.
Yeah,
but yeah, I would like to see them. You know, for any NPC to drop. I mean, you know, it's rare, but for it to drop a bullfrog or a FAMAS, I like the FAMAS better. Bullfrogs sound stupid as shit. But I mean, just any exotic would be nice, just dropped inside the Dark Zone. That's my opinion, though.
Yeah, I mean, it would be great if every once in a great while the Midas and the Ninja Bike Messenger bag turned into something useful. I mean, the Midas is by far. I mean, let's talk about this for a minute. I mean, the exotics, they made them the exotics because they are supposed to be the cream of the crop, the best gear that you can get. And honestly, for my money, there's maybe one or two of those guns and maybe a few pieces of gear. Ray Barrett's chest piece is still, it's still pretty good. The those
I still use it.
knee pads are good. Those are good. And if you're running a golden build, those MC gloves, those are top dog right there. They will beat any Savage any day of the week. And but the rest of the stuff, there's a lot of junk. It's almost like they just changed the color of it to red and they gave it a new perk, but they didn't actually think through what the perk should be. And that is a shame, because you know, when you get an exotic and you get a Ninja Mike messenger bag and it was your first exotic, I probably quit the game. Like I'd probably take it back to Walmart where I got it from and get my $5 back and never pick it up again. I mean, I think, what was it, like a couple months ago, they had it on sale at GameStop. You could pick up the Division for like $9.99 or something. I think right now in the Xbox store, you can get it for $19.99 or $29.99 with Rainbow Six Siege. So if you're really you're really jonesing to get your hands on a copy of the Division, you get it free if you buy Rainbow Six. And that's
and I must add, Rainbow Six Siege is a really good game. I mean, it's a good game to play.
Yeah, I'm personally not as big a fan of it as I was with like Rainbow Six Siege Vegas and Vegas 2 and a couple of the other games. I actually like a couple of the other Rainbow Six games better, but Siege is definitely a worthy game now. It wasn't at the beginning when it first came out, but it's definitely a great game now. I do enjoy it. And it's you know, maybe you know, if you want to see more of that on my channel and Infamous's channel, we can start playing that. We've been playing a lot of Rocket League together lately, and that's always fun. So if you guys want to see more of that, if you guys want to see us play any games, give us some suggestions. Darkfather, one of the guys that comes here, he's a subscriber of both me and Infamous. He just picked up Players Unknown Battlegrounds, so we're gonna be playing that. He just sent me a message, and he just started playing that. So we're gonna play that together and do that stuff, and we'll get you some footage of us doing squad stuff with that. But as of right now, I'm the only one that's playing it out of the people that play it with, because you know, Cobra Khan and Mountie Carl and all of those other names that go by, you know, where we've been playing PC since 1994, 92. I don't know, back in the day, we were playing Doom over a LAN at my buddy's, when my buddy was the computer science room monitor guy at his college. Like, he would have us come in at like 1 a.m. in the morning so we could play Doom over LAN, and that's where it all started back in,
I'm not familiar with like electronics and computers or anything. And a couple months ago, a buddy of mine, he's like, "Hey man, you want to come over for a LAN party?" And I was like, "What in the hell is a LAN party?" And he had to go into detail and tell me what a LAN party was. I had no idea.
Yeah, if you want to know whose Infamous's tech support is most of the time, it's Mountie Carl.
True story.
Infamous sits there and goes, "I don't know what the hell is going on."
Matter of fact, at the beginning of this video here, I was having technical difficulties trying to figure out how I can turn my speakers on my computer.
Yeah. So I try and help Infamous. He's actually much more knowledgeable about PCs now than he was back in the day, which was, what, 3 months ago? Back in the day. So, all right. So we're approaching the 40-minute mark. This has gone on pretty long. So hopefully you guys have stuck around and watched it to this point. But, you know, drop a like on this. This is the first. If you guys like this, drop a like on it. Me and Infamous are going to do more of these, hopefully. Try and make them not as long. This is our first one. So, you know, it's mostly me talking and Infamous hanging in there and adding his 2 cents whenever I shut up for 30 seconds or more. And so we'll do more of these. If you guys have any topics you guys want me and Infamous to cover together, go ahead and leave those down in the comments. Drop a like, subscribe to both of our channels. We'll go ahead and leave those in the description. And until next time, for all of us here at, what is it? Let's Talk, Infamous, and Mountie Carl's Let's Talk. We'll catch you guys in the dark zone and catch you napping when you guys are trying to clear out those landmarks and you see old Infamous and Mountie Carl coming up behind you. Mostly, it's probably to help you out. We'll help you clear it out. We won't go rogue on you, but
no,
we'll save that for later. So maybe we'll do some. Maybe we'll do some. Me and Infamous will do some more Manhunt Mondays for you. We'll try and get some of the other guys to go in with us. So, anyways, thanks so much. I'm gonna let Infamous wrap this up, and Mountie Carl, I'll catch you guys later.
What do you want me to say?
I don't know. Wrap it up. Wrap it up, B.
That's going to wrap it up for today's video. If you liked what you've seen, hit that like button. If you're new to our channel, hit that subscribe button for more awesome shit. If you didn't like this video, hell with you. Like it anyway. Gun Brothers Gaming is up to 13,000.
734 or something.
734 subscribers on the YouTubes, and Infamous Gaming is at 1,891 subscribers.
Woo! Look at that. This guy had 18 subscribers when I first met him. That's how big this guy's gotten. He's getting, you know, he produces some of the funniest rogue killing, rogue stomping, ass grinding videos out there. So, rogue twerking.
Rogue twerking.
Alright, we're actually going to wrap it up now for real. So thanks a lot for watching. We'll catch you guys later, and we'll leave all your comments down in the comment section, and we'll catch you guys up and try and respond to all of them. So for Mountie, Carl, and Infamous, this is us saying goodnight. Agent out.